Deep sub bass fades in like a car engine. Bending in city sounds distant, traffic faint cars wheels. Light hi-hats and metallic percussion set a pulse and rhythm. Vocal sample. Build up. Snare rolls increase gradually. Rising synth fills with white noise, sweeps build tension. Sidechain paths pump energy toward the first drop. Nitro, nitro, nitro. Punchy 4 on the floor kick with distorted sub bass. Sharp slot plugs layered with wobble bass. Glitch X laser stabs and stereo hi-hats accentuate rhythm. Turbo whistle effects enhance this beat sensation. Beat filters out, leaving ambient pads and bass hum. Echoed feel the nitro. Rising riser builds to anticipation for the second drop. Bass becomes heavier and more aggressive with additional distortion layers. Kick and snare pattern grows more complex with trap style rolls. Lead synth bends dynamically across the stereo field. Turbo whistle reverse crashes and subtle crowd chants. Kick and bass gradually fade. Sub-bass lingers with soft ambient paths. Final vocal pleat. Nitro, 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 nitro. Short pause before the drop hits. G4 on the floor kick with distorted sub bass. Lead synth sharp slot plugs layered with wobble bass. Glitch X laser stabs and stereo hi-hats accentuate rhythm. Turbo whistle effects enhances speed sensation. Beat filters out, leaving ambient pads and bass hum. Echo feel the nitro. Rising riser builds to anticipation for the second drop. Bass becomes heavier and more aggressive with additional distortion layers. Kick and snare pattern grows more complex with trap style rolls. Lead synth bends dynamically across the stereo field. Turbo whistle reverse crashes and subtle crowd chants. Kick and bass gradually fade. Sub bass lingers with soft ambient paths. Final vocal pleat. Bass beat faint city ambience fading into silence.
Nonstop bass fades in like a car engine warming up. Ambient city sounds, distant traffic, faint tire screeches. Light hi-hats and percussive clicks mimic gear shifts. Vocal samplers engaged. Stereo Rosalie speed up. Rising synthos with white noise sweeps. Sidechain pads pump tension toward the first drop. Wave.
G4 on the floor kick with distorted sub bass. Light chain pads pump tension toward the first drop. Wave. Punch 4 on the floor kick with distorted sub bass. Glitch X laser stabs and stereo hi-hats accentuate rhythm. Turbo whistle effect synthesizes speed. Beat filters out, leaving ambient paths and bass hum. Echo boost. Reverse tension for the second drop. Bass grows heavier with added distortion and growls. Kick and snare pattern becomes more complex with trap style rolls. Lead synth bends dynamically across the stereo field. FX, turbo whistle, reverse crashes and subtle crowd chants.
kick and bass. Sub-bass lingers with soft ambient pads. Final row of complete, 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 ending into silence. Ending into silence.
Sub-bass fades in. I'm living in a car, revving at the start line. Ambient street sounds, distant traffic, faint engine roars. Light hi-hats and metallic percussion set the rhythm. Vocal standards engaged. Snare will be increase in speed. Rising cymbals and white noise sweeps build tension. Side change pads pump energy towards the first drop. Drop, 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 drop. MG4 on the floor, kick pattern with distorted sub-bass. Late 6R drops layered with bobble bass. Glitch X and laser stabs punctuate the rhythm. Stereo hi-hats and turbo whistle vex enhance the beats and sensation. Even beat pads and bass hum fill the fast lane. Rising riser builds anticipation for the second drop. Bass grows heavier and more aggressive with additional distortion layers. Kick and snare pattern becomes more complex with trap style rules. Lead synth bends dynamically across the stereo field. Turbo whistles, reverse crashes, and subtle crowd chants. Kick and bass gradually fade. Sub-bass lingers with soft ambient pads. Fast and complete. Into silence. Deep sub-bass fades in. I'm living in a car, revving at the start line. Ambient street sounds, distant traffic, faint engine roars. Light hi-hats and metallic percussion set the rhythm. Vocal standards engaged. Snare will be increase in speed. Rising cymbals and white noise sweeps build tension. Side change adds pump energy towards the first drop. Drop, 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 drop. Drop, drop. Drop, drop.
Some bass fades in, making an engine revving up. Ambient street sounds, distant traffic, faint tire screeches. White hi-hats and metallic percussion simulate gear shifts. Flow shifts, gear shifts, gear shifts, engaged. Emerald bass fades in, making an engine revving up. Ambient street sounds, distant traffic, faint tire screeches. White hi-hats and metallic percussion simulate gear shifts. Flow shifts, gear shift, gear shift, gear shifts, engaged. Arrow roll and accelerate. Rising synthos, white noise, sweep, build tension, tension, tension. Side chain pads pump energy towards the first drop. Force chop, slam, slam. Short pause before the drop hits. Punchy 4 on the floor, kick with distorted sub-bass. Lead synthos on plugs, layered with wobble bass. Glitch effects, laser stabs, stereo hi-hats accentuate rhythm. Turbo whistle effects enhance the speed sensation. Beat filters out, leaving ambient pads and deep bass hum. Feel the gear shift. Rising reservoirs tension for the second drop. Drop, 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 drop. Bassline grows heavier with added distortion and growls. Kick snare pattern becomes more complex with trap style rolls. Leads and bends dynamically across the stereo field. Turbo slow, first crashes and some crowd chants. Kick and bass gradually fade. Sub bass layers with soft standing pads. Final vocal would bleed into the same city, ambience filling the silence.
Bass phasing, mimicry, engine revving up. Ambient sounds, distant traffic, faint tire screeches, light hi-hats and metallic percussion mimic gear shifts. Ignition engaged. Snare rolls accelerate steadily, rising synth thoughts and white noise sweeps loops, build tension. Side chain pads pump energy toward the first drop. Slam, slam, slam. Short pulver for the drop hits. P4 on the floor, kick pattern with distorted sub bass. Lead synth for bishop saw, blocks layer, wobble bass. Glitch effects, laser stabs, and stereo hi-hats actuate rhythm. Turbo whistle effects adds a sense of speed. Beat filters out, leaving only bass hum and atmospheric pads. FO the ignition. Rising riser, build anticipation for the second drop. Bassline grows heavier with added distortion and a gear shift. Beat and snare pattern becomes more complex with trap style rolls. Leads and bends dynamically, creating stereo movement. Effects, turbo whistle, reverse crashes and subtle crowd chants. Kick and bass gradually fade, sub bass lingers with soft reverb paths. Final vocal type, ignition, complete. Ignition, engaged, into silence.
Deep sub bass fades in like an engine revving at the starting line. Ambient city sounds, distant traffic, faint tire squeals. Light hi-hats and metallic percussion set a pulsing rhythm. Vocal sample engaged. Snare rolls gradually accelerate. Rising synth with white noise sweeps build tension. Tension. Sonic energy toward the first drop. Bass. Toward the first drop. Vocal top.
Bass, drop.
On G4 on the floor kick with distorted sub bass. Leads and stops on playfully with distorted sub bass. Leads and stops with dissipation for the second drop. Bass grows heavier as the sense of that is distortion layers. Kick and snare pattern becomes more complex with trap style rolls. Leads and bends dynamically across the stereo field. Turbo whistle, reverse crashes and subtle crowd chants. Kick and bass gradually fade, sub bass lingers with soft ambient pads. Final vocal repeat, sub bass lingers with soft ambient pads. Final vocals, reverse crashes with the subtle crowd. Final vocals pump energy toward the first drop. Bass. Toward the first drop, vocal top. On G4 on the floor kick with distorted sub bass. Leads and stops on Blakely with distorted sub bass. Leads and snakes, laser stabs, and stereo hi-hats actuate with turbo whistle enhances the sense of speed. Filters out, fluid ambient pads and deep bass hum. Feel the rush, build a rush. Rising riser builds anticipation for the second drop. Bass grows heavier and more aggressive with added distortion layers. Kick and snare pattern becomes more complex when trap style rolls. Leads and bends dynamically across the stereo field. Turbo whistle reverse impatient for the second drop. Bass grows heavier and fading into silence. city sounds, distant traffic, faint tire squeals. Light hi-hats and percussive clicks mimic shifting gears. Bellows of bass engaged. Pedal of bass engaged. Pedals of bass engaged. Snare rolls gradually increase in speed. Rising synthos with white noise sweeps build tension. Sidechain pads pump energy toward the first drop. Bass, bass, bass. Short pause before the drop hit. Short on the floor kick with distorted sub-bass. Beats in for some looks laden with wobble bass. Glitch X laser stabs and stereo hi-hats actuate rhythm. Turbo whistle effects enhance the speed sensation. Beat filters out leaving ambient pads and bass hum. Feel the pedal. Rising riser builds anticipation for the second drop. Bass grows heavier and more aggressive with added distortion. Kick and snare patterns become more complex with trap sound. Lead synth bends dynamically across the stereo field. The bass, turbo whistles, reverse crashes, and subtle crowd chants. Kick and bass gradually fade. Bass lingers with soft ambient pads. Final to bass engaged. Pedal to bass engaged. It's a bass fades and mimicking an engine revving up. City noises, distant traffic fades on. White hi-hats and metallic percussion mimic electrical sparks. Vocal line engaged. Snare rolls accelerate gradually. Rising synthoyos with white noise sweeps. Sidechain pads pump tension toward the first drop. Amp. Heavy distorted sub-bass with punchy form floor kick. Lights and sharps all plucks layered with wobble bass. Glitch X laser stabs, stereo hi-hats add dynamic energy. Turbo whistle effects actuates key moments. Beat filters out, leaving only bass hum. Atmospheric paths, echo power line. Rising riser builds tension for the second drop. Bass becomes more aggressive with added distortion and growls. Kick and snare pattern grows more complex with drop solo rolls. Lead synth bends dynamically across stereo field. FX, turbo whistle, reverse crashes and subtle crowd samples. Kick and bass gradually fade. Sub-bass lingers with ambient synth pads. Final vocal beat ends with faint city ambience fading into silence. Sub-bass slowly fades and mimicking engine idling. Ambient city sounds, distant traffic, faint sirens. Light hi-hats and metallic percussion set the rhythm. Speeding up. Rising synthos and white noise sweeps build tension. Sidechain pads pump energy toward first drop. Pause before kick pattern, distorted sub-bass. Lead synth with aggressive saw plucks, layered wobble bass. Glitch X and laser stabs accentuate the rhythm. Stereo hi-hats add motion and depth. Big filters out, leaving ambient pads and sub-bass hum. Echo feel the speed, rising riser leads into the second drop. Bass grows heavier and more aggressive. Kick and snare patterns become complex.
traffic fade tire squeals. Light hi-hats and metallic percussion simulate a countdown. Full speed starting. Accelerate, rising signals that lose in white noise. Waves build tension. Sidechain custom energy for the first drop. Storm should pause before the drop hits. Touchy on the floor, kick with distorted sub-bass. Shots on pulsated with wobble bass. It comes heavier with added distortion and growl. You can hear patterns become more complex with drum style rolls. Lead synth and dynamically across the stereo field. Tempo with super bass, acceleration goes with soft ambient paths. I know low creep. Ends with faint city ambience fading into silence. Street sounds, digital traffic, fade, fire, squeals. Simple combo energy for the first drop, go chop.
Low rumbling sub with faint city ambience. Distant track, muffled sirens. Slow filter synth chords glowing like neon in the dark. Vocal whisper with stereo delay under the street lights. Quick reverse crash leads into the beat. Snare hits every second beat, layered with metallic clinks. Rising pitch, riser synth, filtered kick drum building pressure. Bass swell with short glitch, vocal chop slam. Light revving sound effects sync to tempo. Heavy wub bass into the kick pattern. 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 Levy 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 wub bass into the kick pattern. Chromo with short effects, singing a fertile. Short echoing vocal field to seal the city. Rising synth sweep with panning effect to feel like speeding past lights. More aggressive bass growls, layered with high pitch. Kick drum hits harder, almost distorted. Quick 2-bar pauses to fake the pinging before smashing back in. Double panning car horn sample at bar transitions. Sample slows, sample low, slightly as bass fades. Neon synth pad plays the main melody in a soft tone. Engine less sound slowly disappears into the distance. Final deep bass that closes the track. engine, metallic percussion, taps and hi-hats mimic gear shifts. Faint engine rev samples in the background, vocal ready. Snare roll accelerates steadily, rising synthos and the white noise sweeps build tension. Side chain pads pump anticipation, vocal jump, quake. Punching, kicking heavy, distorted sub-bass, lead synth with saw pumps and aggressive grasps. Hot house, hi-hat rolls and glitch effectuate the rhythm. Occasional turbo whistle effects to simulate speed bursts. He drops the halftime with filter bass. Echo vocal, feel the quake. Rising riser and reverse effects leading to next drop. Bassline more aggressive layer with growl and wobble, since kick and snare pattern becomes more complex with trap style rolls. Lead synth bends dynamically for extra tension. Turbo whistle and glitch fills punctuate transitions. Turbo whistle and glitch fills tension. Punctuate transition, kicking bass fade, leaving ambient synth pass. Engine rev sample slowly disappears into distance. Final vocal doesn't gauge.
Beats up, bass fades in like an engine revving at the starting line. Ambient street noises, distant cars, faint tire screeches. Light hi-hats and metallic percussion set a pulsing rhythm. Quake engaged. Engaged. Snare rolls accelerate gradually, rising synthos with white noise sweeps build tension. Side chain pads pump energy towards the first drop. Quake. She form on the floor kick with distorted sub-bass. Lead synth the rest of saw plugs layered with wobble bass. Glitch effects, laser stabs, and stereo hi-hats accentuate rhythm. Turbo whistle effects as a sense of speed. Beat filters out, leaving ambient pads and deep bass hum. The torque. Rising riser builds anticipation for the second drop. Bass becomes heavier and more aggressive, layered with growls. Kick and snare patterns become more complex with trap style rolls. Lead synth bends dynamically across the stereo field. That's turbo whistle, reverse crashes, settle crowd jams. Kick and bass usually fade. Sub-bass lingers with soft ambient pads. Torque, great. Torque, great. Torque, quake, complete. Bands with faint city ambience fading into silence. Rising cymbals with white noise which build tension. Sidechain pads bump edgy towards the first drop. Riot. She flew on the floor, kick with distorted sub-bass. Mixing tracks, laser stabs, and stereo hi-hats actuate the rhythm, emphasize speed and intensity. Beating filters out, leaving ambient pads and bass hum. Turbo. sub-bass slowly fading like a car revving at the start line. Ambient city noises, distant traffic, faint engine roars, light hi-hats and metallic percussion. Mimic the countdown to a race. Furlong charge, ready.
Snare rolls accelerate steadily. Rising theme flows and more noise sweeps built anticipation. Side chain pads pump tension toward the first drop. Charge,
Put 'em on the block.
Punchy 4 on the floor, kick pattern with distorted sub-bass leads them to best suppression, modulation.
Wobble bass laying for intensity.
Switch effects and laser sounds to add energy and excitement.
Beat filters out, leaving only bass humming atmospheric vibes.
The turbo.
Rising, riser, effects leads into the second drop. Bass becomes heavier,
Layered with growling storage synths.
kick and snare pattern becomes more complex with trap style rolling synth bends dynamically, creating a wider stereo effect.
Effects
To the whistle of it for crashes and crouches samples for festival vibe. Kicking and bass fully, the bassline with soft reverb. From the boat drop complete, from Fame City ambience fitting out.
Racing like a car, I'm under streetlights. Soft ambient synths create a nighttime city vibe. Light hi-hats and percussive clicks at a gentle rhythm. Midnight overboost. Midnight overboost. Snare rolls gradually increase in speed. Rising synth thresholds and white noise sweeps build tension. Side chain pads bump energy towards the first drop. Boost, 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 boost. Head distorted sub-bass with punchy 4 on the 4K flex. Synth onto the bass with later vocal bass. Glitch X laser stabs and stereo hi-hats that dynamic energy. Boost, punctuates, keeping noise set to beat. Filters out, leaving ambient pads and deep bass hum. Echo over boost. Rising riser builds tension for the second drop. Bass becomes heavier and more aggressive. Kick and snare pattern grows complex with trap style rolls. Lead synth bends dynamically across stereo field. FX turbo with some reverse crashes. Solo crowd samples, kick and bass gradually fade. So face the news with soft ambient pads. Ambience fading into silence.
Deep sub-bass slowly fades in like a car idling at night. Soft ambient synths create a moody cityscape. Light hi-hats and filter percussion set a gentle rhythm. Shift engaged. Increasing in speed, rising symptoms boost, self-filter sweeps. Side chain pads pumping tension towards the drop. Boost, boost. Short pause before the drop. Heavy, distorted sub-bass drives the rhythm. Punchy 4 on floor kick with snappy snares. Lead synth boost with melodic plucks layered with wobble. Stereo hi-hats and glitch effects enhance motion and energy. Filters out, leaving every passing deep bass hum. Feels the city pulse. Show riser builds anticipation for the second drop. Bass grows heavier and more aggressive. Kick and snare pattern becomes more complex, adding trap style rolls. Sleep bends dynamically with added distortion. Additional effects, turbo whistles, reverse crashes, and subtle crowd noise. High shift complete ends with soft city ambience fading into silence. rolling sub-bass gradually fades in, mimicking an engine revving. Soft ambient synth adds at a neon late nighttime vibe. Light hi-hats and metallic percussion simulate the countdown to acceleration. Snare rolls increase in speed, building tension. Rising synth fills with white noise sweeps. Sidechain paths pump energy toward the first drop. Oh, right. Short pause just before the drop hits. Heavy distorted sub-bass with punchy 4-on-the-floor kick pattern. Lead synths with sharp saw plucks layered with wobble effects. Hi-hat rolls, glitch effects, and laser stabs add dynamic energy. Subtle turbo whistle effects to enhance the sense of speed. Beat cuts to halftime with filtered bass and pads. Echo book to burger. Rising riser builds anticipation for the second drop. Bass grows heavier and more aggressive with added distortion layers. Kick and snare pattern more complex with trap style rolls. Lead synth bends dynamically across stereo field. Echo whistle, reverse crashes, and crowd chant samples. Kick and bass gradually fade out. Some bass lingers with ambient pads. Final vocal beat ends with soft CDIVs fading into silence. Percussion and hi-hat takes like a countdown. Ambient crowd noise utterly mixed in. Start your engines. Snare roll increases in speed. Rising synths and white noise sweeps. Sidechain pass pumping tension. Vocal job go. Small pause for the drop. Punchy 4-on-the-floor kick pad with distorted sub-bass. Aggressive lip synth with sharp soft plucks. Glitch effects and laser sounds for extra energy. Stereo hi-hats moving rhythmically left to right. Beat flips out, leaving only bass and percussive effects. Feel the speed. Rising rises and short reverse crashes before the second drop. Bass grows heavier with added layers of distortion and growl. Kick and snare pattern becomes more complex with trap style rolls. Leads into patch line of variation, intensity. Turbo whistle effects and reverse feels that tension. Kicks and snares gradually fade. Sub-bass lingers with light reverb. Engine revs fade into silence.
Deep bass fades in like an engine revving at the start line. Ambient street sounds, distant cars, faint tire screeches. Light hi-hats and metallic percussion mimic the countdown. Bump street, ready. Snare roll gradually accelerate, rising synth balls and white noise sweeps build tension. Sidechain paths pump energy toward the first drop. Vocal chop. Extreme. Punchy 4-on-the-floor kick with distorted sub-bass. Lead synth pressures, brace yourself like slave rhythm. Stereo hi-hats and SX dynamic energy. Beat drops to halftime with filtered bass and pads. Rising riser builds anticipation for the second drop. Bass becomes heavier and more aggressive, layered with growls. Kick and snare pattern becomes more complex with trap style rolls. Lead synth bends dynamic being stereo movement. Bass turbo whistle, reverse crashes, and subtle crowd chants. Kick and bass gradually fade into silence.
I'm on my bass, the phase engine review. Metallic percussion, taps like tools, hitting the garage board. Rising synth dance, that sound like the superchargers spinning up, ready for full power. Snare roll starting slow, but gradually doubling speed. High pass, filter freaks, we're moving the low end to build tension. Turbo whistle, effects layer with rising synth pitch bends. Vocal chop repeating octane. Notch your sub-bass hit followed by a pounding 4-on-the-floor kick. Sawtooth leads to synth riffing with punchy bass hits. Sidechain bumping makes the drop feel like the beat is breathing. Random first steps, roaring aggressive mechanical feel. Anthems, beat cuts to just the bass and hi-hats for tension. Echo vocal hit quick. crystals. Kick fades out, leaving just the leads and fading into reverb. Engine of sound fades into the distance. Final glitch, stab in silence. Final glitch, stab in silence.
Heartbeat like a bass that seems to want your beating and gradually speeding up. Felt the synth starts moving in stereo for a dizzy erasing effect. Layers of tops reach effects in the background. Vocal whisper, feel the pulse. Feel the pulse and gets faster. Engine rental, bass slap followed by a syncopated kick snare pattern, mainly aggressive, so wave layer with dissipation. Synth solid meets a breathing tension before the drop. Nitro, nitro, nitro. Huge sub bass slam followed by a syncopated kick snare pattern, mainly aggressive, so wave layered with distorted bass stuff. Solid kicks and trap hi-hat rolls for texture. Every 8 bars, turbo hits and reverse bass hit for transition. Drop cuts to halftime, bass beat comes deeper and wider. Echo shouts, boosted panning left to right. Start breakdown, full building again. Drop build again, drop building again. Drop to nitro, nitro. Every 8 bars, turbo hits and reverse bass hit from the bigger sound. Bass slide more distorted and sidechain heavier fill effects. Gun reload clicks, explosion, bass drop. Kicks fade out, bass drops into sub layer. Engine red fades into distance with Doppler effect. Final low frequency hit that resonates for 5 seconds. Drop to nitro, nitro. Drop to nitro, nitro. Drop to nitro, nitro. Turbo hiss from the first bass. Final low frequency hit that resonates for 5 seconds.
The bass slowly fades in like an engine warming up. My hi-hats and percussive clicks mimic a racing countdown. Atmospheric synth adds screen tension and anticipation. Overdrive, engaged. Stereo roll fading layered with white noise sweeps. Sidechain pads pumping energy toward the drop. Go, 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 go. The mobile bassline layer with distorted sub bass. Quarter floor kick pattern with punchy snares. Lead synth, soft flux with sharp mushroom. Consciousness and lasers that accentuate rhythm. Fills out leaving bass along with atmospheric paths. With purple drive, rising riser builds tension for the second drop. Drop, drop, go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Bass hits harder with an extra lane and atmospheric paths. Whisper killing overdrive. Rising riser builds tension for the second drop. Drop, drop, go, 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 go. Kick and bass blade leaves a bass lingers with ambient synth paths. Final vocal complete.
The bass fades in like a ribbon engine. Metallic percussion and hi-hat hits with gear shifts. Ambient street sounds, distant traffic and third wheel vocal sample RE.
Snare rolls increase in speed. Rising synth player layered with white noise sweeps. Sidechain pads pump tension toward the first drop. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Short pause before the drop hits. Punchy 4 on the floor kick pattern with distorted sub bass. Lead synth but progressive soft blocks layered with wobble bass. Grumble, rumble, 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 rumble. Rumble, 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 rumble. Rumble, 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 rumble. Rumble, 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 rumble. Beat filters out, leaving only bass on an atmospheric pass. Echo vocal ramp,
Rising riser builds anticipation for the second drop. Bassline grows heavier with added distortion and growl. Kick and snare pattern becomes more complex with trap style rolls. Lead synth bends dynamically, creating stereo movement. FMS, turbo whistle, reverse crashes, and subtle crowd chants. Kick and bass gradually fade. Sub-bass lingers with soft reverb pads. Final vocal complete, LPM complete, ends with fading and fading into silence. Rumble, 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 rumble. Rumble, 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 rumble. Rumble, 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 rumble. Rumble, 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 rumble. Beat filters out, leaving only bass sound and atmospheric paths. Echo Volcaram. Rising riser builds anticipation for the second drop. Bassline grows heavier with added distortion and growl. Kick and snare pattern becomes more complex with trap style rolls. Lead synth bends dynamically, creating stereo movement. FMS, turbo whistle, reverse crashes, and subtle crowd chants. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Rumble, 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 rumble. Rumble.
Kick and bass gradually fade. The bass lingers with soft reverb pads.
Keep leveling, sub-bass fades in like a distant engine revving. Ambient city sounds, tires screeching, faint sirens echoing reverb. Filtered synth arms gliding upward, turbo engaged, turbo engaged, turbo engaged. Snare rolls with gradually increasing speed. Rising pitch synth sweeps layered with turbo whistle effects. Side chain pad builds tension. Midnight, 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 midnight. Sudden sounds before drop. Heavy bass house groove with distorted sub-bass. Luxury for a kid driving the beat. Metallic plug leads an aggressive synth stab. Turbo boost effects washing into bass drops. Wide stereo hi-hats adding motion. Atmospheric pads with echoing engine revs. Lo-fi filter on beat for tension. We own the night. We own the night. Fade melodically teasing the next drop. Even heavier bass, faster hi-hat rolls, layered synth leads. Laser effects and glitch fills before each measure. Bass patterns which stop your whistle racing. Turbo whistle risers before final hit. Beat slowly filters out, bass fades. Distant car engine speeding away. Turbo disengaged. Ends with soft hum of the city. The city, the city, the city, the city. Atmospheric low drones and distant crackles mimic seismic activity. Gradual build of synthetic tension noises and distant robotic voice. Warning, basequake imminent. Hard-hitting dubstep drums kick in with heavy kicks and sharp snares. Bassline deep and distorted with slow crushing wobble. Layered thunderous synth slaps hit on the downbeat. Effects, ground shaking impacts and rumble sweeps. Feel the quake, unleash the overload. Rising like noise and filter sweeps build tension. Drum fills speed up with glitch stutters and snare rolls.
Bracequake. Overload. Overload.
Overload. House of bass drop with massive wobbling stuff.
excellent synth layers under synth hits punctuate the rhythm. Drum punch hard with syncopated hi-hats and snappy snares. Seismic crashes, bass slaps, and clean verse. Energy pulls back to deep atmospheric adds and rumbling bass drones. Distant echoing vocal sample. Aftershock. Return of the drop with added distortion and layered synths. Bass grows hit thicker with modulators and bass pads. Edwards bends. Bass drops get thicker with modulated dish bends. Drum patterns intensify with complex fills and repetitive backpass. Cascading glitch effects and heavy bass punches. Elements peel away, leaving a deep sub-rumble and distant seismic echoes. Final synth hit reverberates into silence. Closing vocal sample, bass break on the dance. Bass break. Complete. Bass break. Complete.
Welding sparks, steam hissing, massive servo whirs. Industrial ambience with low rumbles. Clanking metal echo effects. Mechanical voidal call accepted engaging bass world. Rising build with reversed metallic hits and glitch shards.
To max that mayhem, drums hit like piston slams. We cake, snappy snare.
Bass line and grinding like metal tearing.
Elvex, welding sparks used as rhythmic textures.
An aggressive robotic screech layered with low mid growls. Floating sparks, music reverse hydraulic effects. Mid-range synth filtered and rising.
System pressure rising, brace for discharge. Siren swell, and left to right.
Slow rising build with reversed metallic hits and glitch shards. Kingdom filled for whirlwoods. Clanking metal echo effects. Clanking metal echo effects. Loading stacked machine feel. Slow rising build with reversed metallic hits and glitch shards.
The mayhem, drums hit like piston slams. Can't snappy snare, bass line and grinding like metal tearing. Facts, welding sparks used as rhythmic textures.
Low end sub rumble like a machine powered on deep underwater. Spas ambient glitches flicker. Faint reversed hi-hats, thick crushed risers. Whispered vocal texture.
Entering the void, dive initiated.
Beat emerges slowly, 808 pulse delay snare. Bass filter growl, submerged like it's underwater. Melody begins, sine wave arcs drifting in the background. Occasional reverbs and glitch clicks. Lyrics.
He's killed, copy, edit, clipped in a code. I'm pulling you on dark, dark, get filled when the fire feels cold. I crash the line, I corrupt and slide. Don't reset now, I'm your system stunned off. Bitch, bends up, look like pressure building.
Snare roll with granular effects.
Dive deeper, deeper. Breach, we're going pulses increase density like sonar pings. Downtrap bass drum hits, massive distorted and 808 with low pass modulation. Hi-hat switch to triplet roll, subtle blitz.
Melody
effects decay, lost in static drift away, core corrupted, nothing pure, virus deep, no final cure. Hard to drop with glitch variation, 808s, no big crushing with melody switches to abilities, metallic glitches. Drums get heavier with layered trap snares. For this reach system error complete. Beat. Bass slowly fades, replaced by glitch final crackle. Final 4 note echo like sonar in pitch descent. Vocal is perfect. Yeah, I'm coming back. You're not coming back.
Low-pass filtered bass pulses mimic data traffic. Area effects, million crackle, firewall, ping, echo, robotic voice sample. Limiting breach protocol, loading exploit. Build-up starts, fog taps, reverse symbols, full rumble. Classic rhythm kicks in, laser like lead. Bubbling sub-bass, syncopated metallics. Glitched percussion, off-grid claps, pitch crushed hi-hats.
Rounds and firewall breach, vocal sample access, blended containment failed. Blended drum loop with rising growl. Repeating vocal glitch stuff.
Layered alt disc and techniques. High-pass filter sweeping baseline, rising screech.
Main rhythm groove, jagged laser cuts sentence on every beat. Mechanical bass wobbles layered with malware like FX. Sound design mimics corrupted data streams. Breaking one floor creeps, protocol, firewall. New rhythm staggered off-beat groove, heavier flow. Gradually modulate every 4 bars. And crush effects, slice system back in the extra grid. Now we're in terrace effects, control mix in stereo field. Drums fade, leaving glitches and fragments. Final sound, firewall crashes. Glass code fragments.
Bombastic rhythm kicks in, laser like lead. Wobbling sub-bass, syncopated metallic hash. Percussion off-grid claps, pitch crushed hi-hats. Background emblems in firewall breach. Failed.
Second drum loop with rising growl. Repeating vocal crystal and kryptonite. Ow! High-pass for swoop on bass rush. Hi-hats, backside. Vocal prison in containment. Failed. Helping from loop with rising growl. Firewall this infiltrate and filter great. High-pass filter sweep on baseline and rising screech. Main rhythm groove, jagged laser cuts and hits on every beat. 30 mechanical bass wobbles layered with malware like FX. Sound design mimics corrupted data streams. Breaking 140 brief started firewall, meltdown in progress. Drop gets heavier. It grows heavier, sounds language diverse. Glitch ones can fix. Now modulates every 4 bars. It crushes, flux slices through background layers. Breaking this and the death firewall meltdown in progress. Heavier and being crunchy synth fragments. Final sound, firewall crash sex. Glass code fragments.
Robotic voice fading into digital noise.
System breach complete. Code forum active. Floating system breach detected. Opapane static rising glitch noise. Whispered vocal sample. Fragment. Burn. Initiated. Layered synth paths glitching out like code corrupted. Bit crush snare hits every 4 beats. Deep reverse crash. Building tension. Effects. Circuit. Hiss. Binary flutter sounds. Glitch storm entry. Wobbling wide. Fractured and layered with bit crush delay. Pillow and compressed. Hits like fragment collapse. Stars and a spring glitch, ambience, intermittent summer on the lows. Since reverse, slow down, let auto pan like spiraling, ordinarily out of control. Control, fluctuated love glitches into a hills. His words new evergreen, long drop in corridor. Bonds right into it, extra distorted. Morphs into a crystalline high energy laser beam. Wide and multi-layered, almost orchestral in glitch form. Massive reverse reverb, glitch fragments. Fragmented, pitch bending every bar like melting data. Data-dumb glitches, entire 4-bar collapses into silence and restarts with a distorted slap. Throws constantly braced on glitch follows, never predictable. Get a predictable, people into people. Little slows, beat bodies filter, base altered. Chronology subtle, memories. Exhaustus, virus, off-road, burst, or to a soft glitch, spiral fade. Massive reverse fragments, reverse core to its battery static. One last focal, complete echo remains. Final base pulse, bounce out to a soft glitch spiral phase. Flow like a digital sunrise, chimes in reversed piano notes fading. Lo-fi texture overlay, final crackle, whisper vocal, ghost like some melody. It's just a memory corrupted. A melodic progression begins. Arpeggiated sense, sparkle stereo padding. Chill step rhythm, light snare, side change kick. Stop, sub bass, hum, low. A tape flutter, delay tails, blurred between the lines. And echoes of a dream long gone, broken frames rewind, but as to play the same old song. Vocal chops glitch rhythmically, pitch rising out under shimmering synths. Snare roll filtered upward, hold on to what's not real. This future bass drop, lush and emotional stack saw chord side chain to the kick. Glitch spot texture sprinkled over the drop. Vocal stutters woven into the melody. Bass gentle round, non-aggressive melody. Cascading 7s and 9s. Ambient interludes suspended in sound. Add swelling dissolve, piano melody solo with subtle glitch artifacts. Vocal whisper layered underneath. I was whole once before the break. Second drop, more melancholic and glitch. Same chord structure, but with granular delay effects. Vocal fragments, soft and reverse. Melody is now warm slightly as if unstable. Sub bass sliding pitching for emotional tension. The final vocal line, fragments fading forever. Bounce slowly retreating. Piano chords echo like fading thoughts. Final thought, fake stop below bit that glitch. And a single reverse chime.
intake flutter, delay tailoring synths, snare roll filtered upward, rolled on to what's not real. Future bass drop, lush and emotional stacks on emotional stacks. Long chords touching to the kick, glitch spot texture sprinkled over the top. Local shop, black lush and emotional stacks. On chords side chain to the kick, glitch spot texture sprinkled over the top. Vocal stutters woven into melody, bass gentle loud, no battle chronic and great, cascading in sevens and ninths. Same chord structure but with graduates and lay effects. Vocal whisper, lyrics solo, whisper, below and within. Vocal ensemble was slightly a slipper, but it's so bugs was all the breeze before the break. I was whole once before the break. Same chord structure but with granular delay effects. Vocal fragments chopped in reverse.
Deep atmospheric tones layered with subtle mechanical hums. Sparse as glitch effects flicker like data sparks. Distant robotic vocal sample. Graviton field destabilizing. Tight tech step drums kick in, punchy kicks, crisp snares, rolling hats, bass line thick, modulated growls with wobbling gravity like shifts. Glitch leads cut sharply through the mix with stuttering rhythms. Vocal chops heavily prosody. Crush, collide, gravity. Synths rise with filter sweeps and pitch bends. Drum rolls accelerate with glitchy fills. Vocal loop, pressure, 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 pressure. Full narrow bass drop with deep crushing sub-bass and complex rhythmic patterns. Bass growls oscillate with pitch modulation layered with distorted synth shards. Drums punch hard with syncopated break beats and glitch percussion. FX, digital crackles and mechanical impacts. Ambient break with swirling pads and glitch echoes. Whispered vocal, sample. Drop with enhanced bass layers and increased distortion. Synth leads weave fast. Glitchy runs cutting through the bass drum fill speed up with intricate syncopation. FX cascade with mechanical hits and digital noise bursts. Gradual disintegration of elements with fades and sub-bass. Bass decay, final low bass note sustains and fades into silence. Closing robotic voice. Graviton crusher. Complete. Complete. Drop with deep crushing sub-bass and complex rhythmic patterns. Bass growls oscillate with pitch modulation layered with distorted synth shards. Drums punch hard with syncopated break beats and glitch percussion. FX, digital crackles and mechanical impacts. Ambient break with swirling pads and glitch echoes. Whispered vocal, sample. Falling. Return of trolling. Return of drop with enhanced bass layers and increased distortion. Synth leads weave fast. Glitchy runs cutting through the bass drum fill speed up with intricate syncopation. FX cascade with mechanical hits and digital noise bursts. Gradual disintegration of elements with glitch fades and sub-bass decay. Final low bass note sustains and fades into silence. Closing robotic voice. Graviton crusher. Complete.
Flickering fire, crackle and molten lava, like synth pads. Distant sirens and ambient smoky noises build extension. Entering the drop zone. Heat rising. Heavy rhythm drums enter with punchy kicks and sharp snares. Bassline beeples and growls and slow crushing wobble. Sizzling synths with pitch bends and flame-like modulation. Effects crackling embers and fire bursts. Inferno. Drop zone ignite. Ignite. Rising synth sweeps layer with fiery noise bursts. Snare rolls and drum fills increase intensity. Vocal loop intensifies. Drop zone. Full rhythm drop with crushing bass and molten synth layers. Bass growl slam hard with modulated distortion. Percussion is aggressive with syncopated hi-hats and snappy snares. Bursts of fire, crackling explosions and heat waves. Energy pulls back to smoky paths and distant fire crackles. Whispering vocal sample burning through the chaos. Return of the drop with enhanced bass thickness and added synth flourishes. Drum fills become more complex with triplet hi-hats and glitch effects. And bleed sizzle with rapid pitch modulation. Effects cascade with layered fire bursts and rumbling low-end hits. Elements slowly dissolve with fading fire crackles and distant thunder. Final bass rumble fades out into silence. Closing vocal sample, soft, fading. Full rhythm drop with crushing bass and molten synth layers. Bass cross slam hard with modulated distortion. Percussion is aggressive with syncopated hi-hats and snappy snares. FS bursts of fire, crackling explosions and heat waves. Energy pulls back to smoky paths and the distant fire crackles. With vocal says we're burning through the chaos. Part of the top of the drop with enhanced bass thickness and added synth flourishes. Drum fills become more complex. Triplet hi-hats and glitch effects with sizzle with purpose. Plasma crackles. Distant machine drum, alien screech effects, high-pitched modulated, low synth swell builds pressure, distorted voice whispers, exoburst initialize, snare roll starts bending, etherizers laced with glitch and static bursts, drop countdown, 3, 2, 1. Stopping rhythm groove kicks in. Voice modulate deep distortion. Then snap sharp and alien tone gated rhythm. Punchy, tight, alien screech layer woven into bass hits. Gentle laser zaps, like stereo pan, syncopated pleated loop, chemical butter rise, verb tails trail with plasma discharges. Pads with low filter sweep, containment breached, ion lash unleashed. But alive, reverb tails trail like plasma discharges. Pads with low-end filter sweep, containment breached, ion lash unleashed. Glitch sparkles dance above ambient layer. Slow snare builds, triplet glitch fill. Bass stabs now doubled and pitch shifted. Kick gain sub-rumble layer. Screech synth bends upward like metal. Big bass distortion spikes in fast bursts. Drops feel heavier, alien unstable. Effects, rising tone with granular crunch before each stab. Low fight crow bass fades to deep pulse. All systems collapsing, initiating plasma fall. Full of filtered synth echoes spike.
come like screaming eternity. Rhythm drums distorting glitch on every fourth beat. Pitch warps, stereo panning madness. Glitch effects stack near the end. Drop ends with filter down and reverse stab. Single alien tone echoes, distant static sub fades. Last voice, exoburst complete. Anomaly recorded. Silence.
So atmospheric synth pads with heavy reverb, fractaling static and white noise layering gradually. Distant, fragmented vocal samples whispering signal. Fading, lost. Sparking dubstep beat emerges, deep cadence of snare synth decay, warp textures with pitch modulation. Bass, pulses low, rumbling distorted, glitch effects, intermittent noise bursts and echoing clicks. Vocal fragments, phantom signal, decay. Lagging filter noise and pitch shifted synth sweeps, increasing glitch chop rhythm, vocal loop intensifies. Decay, 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 decay. Full custom drop with heavy distorted bass claws, synth lights warped and eerie, sliding through dissonant intervals. Fragmented force. First versus digital decay process. Decay path, first synth, whispered vocal sound lost in the decay. Turbo saga with more depth, with more intense distortion. Layer bass crossing your experiments. Echo glitches weave through the soundscape. Elements fade out with lingering static and echoing synths. Vocal fragment whispers signal for forever. And some are fading more. Glitch effects, noise sweep. Overload, neon green. Bassline enters, deep rhythmic and pulsing with groove.
Lead synth, private page melody with slight chorus. Drum patty 4 on the floor kick, snappy snares, hi-hats.
Copy, edit, neon lights in endless streams, electric nights and retro dreams. Pulse ignites the city's core. Overload, I want more.
Synth layers stack and increase in brightness and complexity. Drum fills rise with snare rolls and increasing intensity. Overload, overload. Full synth wave electro bass drop with driving rhythm. Lead line deepens with added distortion and sidechain pumping. Drum beam dramagetic with syncopated hi-hats and claps. FX, neon sweeps, retro laser sounds. Energy pulls back to ambient synth pads and minimal percussion. Neon overload. Return of the drop with fuller synth layers and enhanced bass. Lead seed synth adds melodic flourishes and filter sweeps. Drum pad intensifies with additional percussion and fills. Overload, laser bursts and glitch echoes.
And brightness and outreach, and gladness and concrete. Brightness and outreach, neon lights in endless streams. And brightness and outreach, and brightness and unreach. Grumbles, overload, 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 I want more. Overload, I want more. Overload, I want more. Overload, I want more.
Static, hum, good pulses begin to sync. Send, drum fades in with chop delay. Warped vocal sample.
Initializing spiral breach.
Glass shatters, system boot glitch. Mid-tempo kick, snare beat enters. Dark paths swirl beneath flickering hi-hats.
Rising around pedals, pan left and right. Distorted synth riser climbs with circuit bend effects. Sample, containment, unstable.
Voltage auto ignites. Massive sub-bass pulse hits. Cricket beats Thompson. Let it glitch Thompson. Oscillating in spirals. Baseline thick. Warm prairie.
We're suddenly voice hits up effects.
loop. Much harder